to the 30-day Pilates mat challenge for beginners. As most of you have figured out by now, I'm Jennifer. So today is going to be the first time that we execute a movement that really requires our obliques. So obliques are on the sides of the abdominals, and people really think about, toning them for their waist. And as most of you know, doing any sort of abdominal work, sadly, is not necessarily going to get rid of the fat that surrounds the midsection, but it will help tone the muscles. So because you are toning those muscles, you may notice a difference from doing these exercises in the way that your clothing fits. I often hear my clients report some of them will lose weight. Of course, anytime that you start adding movement, if you don't change your diet, you are likely to lose weight. But what I most often hear people report is that their clothing is fitting differently, that maybe they've gone down a belt loop, or maybe they're able to fit into those pants that were just a little bit tight on them previously. So we always like to hear those success stories. If you start doing this and you're really into it and you find any of those results for yourself, please share them in our Facebook group. I would love to hear your success. Okay, anyway, today we are going to get to the crisscross. So we're going to start off supine. In this pose, it's actually going to be very difficult for you to maintain that modified position with the back of your skull on the floor. You're most likely going to have to come into some version of a cervical knot. Now, of course, if that pose is still not accessible to you yet, then you can modify this by taking your right leg out and your left hand behind your skull, and you can do a modified movement. So this is not the crisscross. It's a variation for it. You're requiring the torso to rotate, so you are utilizing those oblique muscles, but you get a little rest in between where you can rest your head down if you do know that you are prone to have neck discomfort when you're doing these. So that is an option. You can do one side and then you can do the other. The crisscross itself uses the same legs that we use in the single leg stretch. Using that cervical knot with your elbows out to the side and your fingertips supporting your head, one leg is in and one leg is out, and what you're going to do is you're going to twist the opposite shoulder toward that knee and switch and switch and switch. So keeping this going. So modified, take your legs a little more vertical, more advanced, take your legs a little more horizontal. While you're doing this, it's going to be very tempting to lead with your elbow. Of course, your elbow is going to move, but try to think about leading with your shoulder in order to get more rotation in. The other thing that often happens is that people do not fully extend the leg that's moving away from them. They're so focused on the twist. But again, you want to really try to bring focus into these movements so that it's more about the quality of the movement rather than the quantity of the movement. So as you're doing the crisscross, please try your very best to extend fully that leg that's moving away from you. It's going to require just a little bit more precision, just a little bit more strength in the pose. But remember, our goal here is to build that strength, to build that fluidity into these poses. So it's just bringing an awareness to the body. I often hear people say, that come to the studio that they're not sure, do they want to do yoga, do they want to do Pilates? They're not necessarily sure of the difference. And they say, oh, well, you know, Pilates is good for stress too. And I generally explain to them that, you know, oftentimes, of course, exercising, there's been many studies that have shown that exercising, adding exercise to your life does help you reduce your stress level. Of course, those of you who practice yoga know, and now you can probably realize now that you're noticing these Pilates poses that it is a mindful exercise. You do really have to focus on the present moment and what's going on as you're doing the poses, although it's not necessarily a meditative practice like it might be for you in a yoga class, depending on what kind of yoga class you're partaking in. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, please ask. I'd love to elaborate. I could go on and on and on, but I promised you that I would keep each video for this 30-day challenge somewhere around the 3 to 5 minute mark, and I really don't want to break my promise to you. Take care. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Bye.